Hey, welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining us again on another episode. We got a lot to get into today, Bob. We're
We
going to
do.
talk a little bit about that Boo Carter situation, which is, really grabbed all the headlines this week. Um, some expansion talk again.
Yeah,
Um, it's a little sooner than I thought we'd have that again, but
yeah,
here it is already.
yeah.
Uh, Big Ten had their media days this week, and they
Hmm.
did some of their normal whining. They hate us because they ain't us.
Right.
They want to be us. Uh, Little Joey Aguilar comments from from his former coach out of UCLA, just Ryan Foster, uh, and a little recruiting news
Yeah.
too. Though,
Oh, yeah.
also, we got a lot to get into today.
Yeah. A lot.
But first, if you don't care, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so.
Yep.
Hit that like button if we earn it today, and give us a comment on any one of these subjects.
Oh, yeah.
But
We love to hear your feedback.
yeah, so Bob, let's talk about Boo Carter.
Lots and lots of rumors as far as that goes.
And
Some somewhat, you know, solid info, and some of it
not
probably
so.
not so much.
And we generally don't really uh, dive into a lot of rumors out there because we don't normally find it very fair to do so.
Right.
But this is the big story this week.
Yeah.
Will he be on the team when they reports in a couple of
And that
days?
that seems to be basically a coin flip at this point. As far as the rumors goes, well, let's start with the most credible info out there. Apparently, this is not necessarily rumors because this seems to be absolute fact. He's not been doing what he's supposed to do. He's not been at all of the football functions, uh, the unofficial practices and stuff that they do.
Team meetings and such.
Right.
And let's just be clear about that. There's a unofficial practice that they have.
There's some voluntary.
Some
That's
voluntary, yeah,
involuntary.
some voluntary things. They're just not. They're not voluntary.
Yeah, they're
They're
not.
only voluntary because the NCAA says they have to be, but in reality they are not for the most part. Um, some exceptions to that, but uh,
You
Boo
know,
don't really fall under that.
right. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing to be a part of the team. The rumors is that Joshua Joseph, Tyree West might have tuned him up a little bit. That's a rumor out there. There's also a rumor that he possibly might be in some legal trouble in Chattanooga area where his hometown is. Um, and then you have the fact that he changed agents, which is always a red flag if you follow NFL guys. I mean,
And I believe it's his third agent, and he's only a sophomore.
yeah, when you start looking at NFL guys that's changing agents all the time, run away from them if you're an NFL team. They know that you're trouble, you know?
You're a headache, and considering he also went through like three high schools, I believe it was.
All right.
Um, by the way, though, just saying the legal rumors is probably the least founded
You're
rumor
right.
out there.
That
So,
very well. I mean,
and that's why we didn't really talk about them doing an episode this past week because did not want to put that out there while it was still potentially, probably, maybe like it might be true.
right. I mean, who knows on that one? That one's the others are probably legit. That one, who knows? Who knows on that one? Uh, but as far as whether or not he'll be on the team this year, we'll probably find out here around Tuesday or so, or somewhere around that time frame. Uh, the and I don't know if I want him on the team or not. I go back and forth on that. The Boo Carter, the player, um,
Incredible talent.
yeah, incredible talent. Uh, I mean, they picked him third team all conference as a guy who was a
Didn't replay
part-time
it much.
starter last year. So they know. I feel like what kind of talent he has. Uh, and the part of me that wants him to be here says that with him and a healthy McCoy, with the rest of that defense, this defense could be elite and win us ball games that we would otherwise lose. And then the other side of me says that this kid's a headache. He's a team cancer. Uh, how can you have a great culture with guys like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
and we all know. I mean, I've said this on this before. Every coach talks about culture. Heupel's the first one that's talked about it that I actually um, believe he's trying. That the culture means something. I'm not going to say he always
right.
makes the an answer based solely on culture. But I do believe he walks the walk much more than any other coach
He
that I've
does.
personally
He
seen.
does. And you know, one other thing I'd say to that whole deal, yes, you know, do you really want a head case like that on your team, trouble and all this other stuff? And then part of me says, I remember some championship teams we had that was full of those kind of guys,
Yes.
and we was winning championships with them. So, I mean, I don't know. I
You hear
mean,
the former players talk
yeah,
about stories from the 90s
yeah,
and some of the character issues. Um, Listen, we're not recruiting Boy Scouts.
no,
You know,
somewhere,
we're
you know,
recruiting young men full of testosterone and many times, without good role models.
right,
So it's bound to happen a few times. But that said, hopefully he's contrite, comes back with a sincere attitude,
that's
and gets forgiveness from the
right.
team as much as anything else.
That's the only way he's on this team going forward is a legit, heartfelt apology. It appears he has no options to go anywhere else from what we're here, and that he has to come here or play nowhere.
And that was not always necessarily, didn't seem like it could be the
Right.
case for a while.
So it seems like he may have realized, hey, I gotta play here this year.
Right, because the rumor was that if he walked on somewhere, he might be eligible this season.
Yeah.
Because it looked like Colorado may be in talks with him. Um, because he got a new, well, with his new agent. Uh, but like you said, Bob, right now, everything points to he may feel that that's not an option.
Right. Okay. Well, on to the next news, Tim. Let's start with possible SEC expansion again. You've
Hmm.
got, it appears to be a handshake agreement to join the conference from North Carolina, uh, with maybe another couple teams, another team out of possible two more that's possibly coming with them.
Yeah. You've got Clemson or Florida State might be the second team joining them. I wouldn't be surprised personally to see a four-team move
Possible.
because
Yeah.
I can see the ACC just dissolving or changing greatly from what it is right now. Um,
Well, okay. I mean, if they did four teams, Tim, who would it be?
um,
I think Clemson, Florida State,
yeah,
and
probably get
North
both.
Carolina. Who's the fourth team?
I'm thinking another North Carolina team simply for political reasons. Quite often these state universities don't get the political okay from the state legislature without
Right.
taking their sister schools. So I could see North Carolina State possibly coming with North Carolina. Um,
I mean, yeah, I could see that one. Could do it just for the fact that they're decent at football, really good
at the moment.
really good basketball team.
Well, look, right now, what does North Carolina bring you?
Basketball. That's about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
they're decent at football.
well, they can be,
They can be at times.
and they just got Belichick, so that's it.
Right.
And of course, they got the Jordan brand
Right.
is out there, and they're good in some the non-revenue producing sports.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and they're attractive from an academic point of view.
Right. Right.
But you have the same thing with Duke, only I think their ceiling in football is a whole lot lower.
It is. I agree.
Now, myself, I'll just be honest about it. I think it's a mistake just to pull in blue bloods um, in football.
Oh,
Because
I agree.
if you've got 20 powerhouses, you know, everybody's not going 8-4.
Yeah, I
Everybody's
know.
not going 10.
That is something we have struggled to get people to understand.
You
You
need
know,
a Vanderbilt you can beat up on.
yeah, I mean,
You need a Duke that you can beat up on.
I have argued and argued with people that want to grab every great team in the country, put them in a conference, and go to 10 game SEC schedules. I don't know if you realize it or not, but every game has to have a winner and a loser. And like
Yeah,
you said, everybody can't go 8-4. You know, you know. I mean, it's
yeah.
the
Math
math.
don't work.
You know, that's the word. There's going to be however many losses, however many wins, and you're going to get more losses
Yeah.
If you go to, on average, Tennessee will have more losses if they go to 10 conference games, and Tennessee will also have more losses if they bring in 3 powerhouses on average. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the way it is. Okay. In North Carolina and a Duke or whoever it may be.
yeah,
Um, does bring in name recognition. It brings in eyeballs. They have particularly in basketball, both of those schools have a national brand.
hmm,
But we know that football really stirs the drink.
right. It does.
But anyway, that's still out there because
Yeah.
I don't expect to see nothing in the next 2 years, or at least definitely 1 year on that right there. Uh,
On the other side of it, looks like Virginia may have done their handshake agreement with the Big Ten or Big 20, whatever they are now.
yeah, they don't know. They can't. The Big King count
Yeah.
conference. So yeah. So speaking of the Big Ten, they had their media day this week, and they did their normal whining about the Southeastern Conference.
Right.
A couple of three of their coaches, particularly, had some silly statements. And in fact, Greg Sankey kind of made fun of James Franklin
You mean that coach that used to coach for that other team on the other end of the state, Tim? That guy?
in the middle of
Middle
the
state, yeah.
yeah, the former when he was at Vanderbilt, he would never refer to Tennessee as Tennessee. It was always the other team in the state, the team to the east, whatever it was. I mean, just
Right.
silly
Silly.
stuff. And then he was talking about the Southeastern Conference, and he was referring to it as that other conference.
Right, yeah.
He's not changed
Not
or
too.
grown up.
Yeah.
Um, but old Sankey, he put out a little tweet and took the SEC logo and put out TOC for that other conference
Yeah.
out there, just kind of making fun of how silly James Franklin is.
Right. That was
Um,
pretty good.
but he wasn't the only silly statements. Indiana's coach had a whopper of one when people called him out for their super weak schedule, and here he was counseling a series with Virginia, and he trying to be a little smartass and said he was trying to adopt the SEC scheduling model,
Yeah.
as if there was any uh, resemblance to what Indiana did last year.
Yeah. When they canceled, what was it, Louisville or
They canceled Louisville last year because that was one of the only teams on the entire
schedule
schedule
that
that could
beat
beat it.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get them off the schedule. I
Well,
mean, come on, man.
I mean, Bob, they didn't play. If I remember correctly, they did not play a team with a winning record. Now, mind you, a winning record until like the 11th game of the year, I think it was, when he got drilled by Ohio State.
Right.
Um, I don't see how I couldn't sit down and make a schedule hardly out and intentionally get 10 teams in a row that don't have a winning schedule by the time I play them.
Yeah, that guy is quickly becoming on my list of most disliked coaches in college football. He's probably at the top, really, honestly.
Yeah,
Least active coaches.
yeah, and he wants to pretend like a Big Ten schedule that he played last year's daunting
Murder's Road,
schedule.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Come
you
on,
know,
man.
come down here. We got 16 teams. I think 10 of them will blow you out on a regular basis. I think about two more will play you very, very strong.
Yeah, I
And
mean, honestly, yeah.
the bottom four will get you every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not getting a winning record. He'd take that team he had last year, which he loved, and talk about how great it was. Don't know if they had a winning record in the SEC.
Let
You
me
give
answer
them
that.
Florida, Georgia schedule next year, they would last year they or this year they would not have had a winning record.
No, they wouldn't have, Bob. They might have started out pretty strong, but by middle of the season they'd been so beat up.
Yeah,
They'd end the season losing like 5 of the last 7.
and that's the issue. But I'm not going to get into all that. And when you got to play, well, I will get into that. When you're in the SEC, you got to bring it every week, you know, and sure. What the big difference there to me more than anything, Tim, is when you got injured guys in the ACC, sometimes you got to play them, man. You got guys that banged up. You got to play them because that team across from you, even though they're got a 500 record or less, can beat you if you don't bring you A or A.
Well, they
to that
have
game.
every team in the conference uh, currently has NFL players.
Yeah.
And you can say that about a lot of conferences, but look at the NFL draft over the last 15 years. It's been dominated by the SEC.
Right.
Um, the South produces more NFL players. They're in our backyard. Um,
And if you're Big Ten, you can. If you're Ohio State, Michigan, you got a guy banged up, you can sit him.
So,
Hey, we sit you for the next 3 weeks because we ain't playing nobody. We'll save you for the big game toward the end of the year.
yeah, we're playing Iowa this week. They're not supposed to score more than 3 points, so let's don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. But anyway, that's our Big Ten gripe for the day. But
Well, we're not done.
well, no, I'll take it back. We got 2 or 3 more.
Let's go to UCLA for a moment.
Right.
Deshaun Foster.
Yeah. Come on.
Let's see, Nico, I think had a few things to say. Let's start with him.
Yeah.
Claimed that the only reason he left Tennessee had nothing to do with asking more money.
Right.
100% family. Bob, I believe that. How about you?
He's full of crap, man. Full of crap.
Okay,
It's all about money. What it was. He just got. He went there and lost money, so he tried to save face. Oh, it's about family, because originally it was about money and weapons to have the throw to and such and running back and stuff.
protect them.
Yeah.
He wanted offensive lineman.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you're gonna need to pay me, give me a raise, but you're also gonna need to somehow or another figure out how to get some more superstar players here. I mean, I'm not sure if he understands, basic budgeting and economics there, but you can't have
It's not, it's
big
not monopoly
budget
money.
here. Yeah, you just can't throw it around everywhere. But anyway, that was bull crap. I mean, come on. That's the best he could come up with.
Well, what is he going to say?
Yeah.
I mean, the family he might be talking about is, Ben Franklin, Andrew Jackson.
Right. Yeah.
That's the family he might be talking about. But Deshaun Foster, at some point in the last week or so, talked about how Joey Aguilar was not preparing himself and studying the film and everything like that. And of course, we're not there. We don't know.
Right.
We do hear what we've heard here, though.
What we've heard here is he's taking care of business. He's had his head down and had like a very workmanlike attitude, and he's doing everything he's supposed to do. So that don't really line up with what we're seeing here. So
But now that said, I can't swear to that either because I'm not down there on that either.
right. But I mean, the guys on VolQuest, they're kind of saying that. So I'd say it's probably true. But if not, even if it ain't, I can guarantee Aguilar put in more effort and studying than what his coach did for that press conference.
You're talking about the press conference his first year in the league.
Yes.
Last year's press conference at the Big Ten was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in my life. Bob, I think you likened it to somebody showing up blindfolded. I think. How'd you put it, Bob?
Well, I mean, it's almost like somebody stuck him in a car, blindfolded him, didn't tell him where he was going, and pulls a blindfold right before he walks onto the stage and tells him, hey, you need to talk about your team. Walk out there. Yeah.
Football-wise, we're just excited. I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC. We I'm just basically excited, really. That's it. Any questions?
He had, if he had even kind of any prep work in the car on the way to the event, man, he'd had more prep work, than what he showed right then. I mean, he's like, hey, I mean, it was bad. It's horrible. I mean, it made me look good.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that video and I'll put it here. Bob, let's jump into a little recruiting news because the big dogs are walking in the next couple of weeks.
5-star talk. It's a 5-star roundup, I guess you might say, because we got some 5-stars looking at us, and
It's decision time for a lot of.
Yeah, and we're kind of a coin flip situation with most of them. You've got probably the ones closest to us. How do you say his first name? That's it, I think. No, that's not a joke.
It's probably as close as I'll get to it, but I think it's Salisi Moa.
Yeah.
And that's 2 names, by the way.
Yeah.
In case you couldn't tell.
Yeah. athlete, probably a wide receiver, could be a DB. Uh, Great player. It seems like border 5-star on one website, top 50, I think, on another. Just it's basically down between Tennessee and Utah for him, and
What the word seems to be anyway.
yeah. So hopefully we can pull that one. It's been a Utah lean for a while, so
He's
but
from Utah.
right, but it seems like
Okay.
we've gotten a little bit of we've closed that gap in the last month or two.
And there's some desire to play in the Southeastern Conference.
Right.
Um,
You got him. You got another
I
guy.
think it's July 31st, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you got the big time, the top interior offensive lineman in the country, 5-star Darius Gray, who has been kind of his top three. It appears to be Tennessee, LSU, and South Carolina. We've believed to be probably third in that list for the long part, but there's been some momentum there on the Tennessee side here lately, and he actually said that we was recruiting him harder than anybody was.
Yeah, and he also, someone mentioned whose leaders were thought to be South Carolina and LSU, and he said I wouldn't count Tennessee out of that
Right.
also. He's got a couple other finalists. He says they're still, quote, in it, but it seems like it's definitely a three-team race, and
Right.
we may still be in third, but we're gaining ground.
Yeah.
I believe he wants to do something before his season starts, so I'm assuming he'll be committed before August is up.
Then you know and most people know the next two, Savion Hyder. He's coming up for too long. Is it in August? Is that correct?
The 19th,
August
that's
19th.
on a Tuesday.
That's basically between Tennessee and Michigan for him. That one's basically coin flip. And then Keys, the top wide receiver in the country, 5-star. That one's probably he's committed to LSU right now. A lot of people believe he won't end up at LSU, and uh, it almost feels like we have some momentum on that one. I know Miami's in this one.
Well, I think the two teams out here to watch, Texas A&M and Tennessee.
Right.
But we'll see. That could go on for a while.
Yeah, that one probably be. But now there's 4 or 5 stars. We just named. Man, it'd be good if we can get 2 of them.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get 2 of those.
Could we
that'd
get
be
more? Yes. Could we get less? Yes.
Yeah.
Could we get shut out?
If you
I
would
wouldn't
say
expect
today,
it,
give me 2, no, I'd be happy. If you give me 3, I would be ecstatic. You know.
Yeah, and one other big time for us, in-state kid.
Yeah.
Joy White.
Joel White.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. I got back up tongue-tied there for a second. Names are my weakness, but
They're my strong suit.
I think that's something coming up pretty soon too.
Last name, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, I finally did, and the son of a gun left on.
But
He waited all the time I got it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's Oklahoma's come on hard for him recently, but that still looks like a Tennessee Vanderbilt battle.
Right.
And where we're thought to have the momentum in that one, and that's a big guy, that terrific athlete.
Yeah. Borderline top 50 type player.
Mhm.
I mean, good player.
And that's coming up pretty soon too.
Yeah. But that's it, back guys, for this episode. Hope you liked it, and remember to hit that subscription button if you hadn't already. Hit that like button. We would appreciate that. And I mean, Tim, let's just say it, man. We appreciate our subscribers, like people that watch our videos.
Yeah, and of course, most of y'all are not subscribers according to the data we receive.
From YouTube. It's
So
about 50-50 or less, actually, and so that's always interesting. But yeah, so if you're watching us, hit that subscribe button.
yeah, football season is coming around the corner, and let's talk about some ball.
That's right. We love it.
All right, with that, Bob, I'm just saying, go Big Orange.
Go Vols.